Hey there, everybody, and welcome into this week's edition of Buccaneer Insider. Killian McClatchey and Witte, as always. And joining us this week, a track and field star, a runner, Caroline Edmonson. Thank you for joining us. And
no problem.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, as well as you can during COVID.
Yeah, I think that's just about how all of us feel.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
at this point. So
Right.
You're a runner, and we'll start off just kind of giving a little bit of background on yourself. So what events do you run, and what? Yeah, we'll start with that.
Okay, cool. So I won't have an indoor season because this is my 5th year. So I'll do maybe, I'm not sure yet, but if we get our season, I'll probably do the heptathlon, 100 hurdles, high jump, 4x4, and the 400 hurdles, which is my best event. And I really want to make it to the East Regionals for the NCAA championships. That's been my goal for the last couple of years, and I've just missed the mark by a couple of spots. So I'm really hoping to do that this year.
So with everything that's going on with COVID and your summer and now your fall, how have you been training on your own through this time?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I have a gym back home, and I've really made it a point to just go every day that I can, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, go lift. Even when I don't feel like it, if I can just get a couple reps in, that'll be my goal. Because there's been days where I just like, do I even want to do this? Even whenever I didn't know I was going to come back, I was like, at least I'll just work out for health, like physical fitness and health, because I was a kinesiology major in my undergrad studies, so I know how important it is, and important to control your stress levels and everything, especially during all this. So I would just lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday because I had a gym membership. And then Monday through Friday, I was also try to get some cardio in and just maintain my fitness. And it's worked out pretty well. We had our first practice last week, and I wasn't completely dead, so it was all good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's always good. What does a workout look like for you? I feel like a lot of people just kind of think, oh, you just run, so you just go running. That's all you have to do. So what do you do?
So yeah, for like short sprints and jumps, it's all different than like if you would consider just a runner like distance. You wouldn't just do miles. I've been trying to do mileage just to get my oxidative system better in shape, but we will do different things like circuits. That'll be one of our conditioning season practices, or we'll do like a tempo run we did today. Has us all dead, and would like sprint, and then it's like interval training, a lot of interval training. And then when we come back onto the track, hopefully in the next couple months, we'll be doing like sets of 200s or a ladder from a 500, like a lap around the track, and then work our way down and back up, things like that. So it's a lot more than just running. And I think I hear my coaches whistle right now. I can feel their pain. But yeah, it's pretty tough, but at the same time, it's all necessary in order to get in shape and do what you want to do.
Well, you kind of hinted at potentially not coming back this year.
Mm-hmm.
What was that process for you? When did you decide you wanted to come back? Take us into that.
Oh man, that was a whole thing. So I was still doing online classes, but I was in Tennessee because we had to go back home, and I knew that we weren't having our last outdoor season, and there were just so many things that I wanted to do here, like so many accomplishments I wanted to do, and I was really struggling with it. It wasn't really an identity crisis or anything like that, because my identity is in Christ, and I just had like it felt like I was empty though, like this is not how it's supposed to end. And so I was just praying about it a lot, and my coach, I asked her, I was like, would you like be able to support me? Like if I came back, would y'all have the financial aid for that? And she said, yes, I would love to have you back. So she said to ask for a deferment at Tennessee State, where I got into physical therapy school, which was a whole nother process too, so there was a lot of things that had to fall into place for me to come back. And I just remember at one point I was just praying, I was like, if I get this deferment, because it's not a normal thing for them to do at physical therapy programs, especially just for a track season. Like I asked them, I was like, I just want to finish my last year of track, and they said they had a girl that did that the year before, and they didn't let her do it. So they had their little meeting and everything, and I was like, God, if it happens, then I'll go back. You might have a plan for me there. I don't know. So they went through all yeses, and so I was like, all right, I guess I'm going back. So here I am.
That's awesome. So you mentioned some of the accomplishments that you feel like you still want to do. You kind of felt like unfinished business. I think is one of the best ways to put it. So what are some of the things that you feel like I want to do this upcoming season?
Yeah. Oh man. So the first thing that I've had is one of my big goals the last 3 years for the 400 hurdles is getting to the NCAA East Regionals Championships, which is the top 40 from East and West out of all Division I schools, that's so cool about track. It's not like football where you have FBS, FCS. You're competing with the big dogs like all the time. It's so fun, and I'm very competitive, so I really like to be in that arena, and I want to be in that atmosphere. So that's one of the main goals. And then also I kind of did want to get into the Hall of Fame for CSU and hopefully break the record for the 400 hurdles here at CSU. I knew I was on the verge. Coach Thompson never told me what the record was, but I knew I was somewhere around there. So hopefully I'll get that. And then, probably get first in the 400 hurdles too within the Big South. So yeah, those are some goals.
Let's go back to the beginning days of Caroline and how you got involved in track. I read where your dad was a track athlete. Where did he go to school?
He went everywhere. He was more of a distance guy, so
Okay.
that's how I started off too. I was doing cross country in middle school, and in high school I did cross country all 4 years. I was pretty good, but I hated it. But I was like goal oriented. I really am goal oriented, so I made it a point to go to state every single year for cross country. And so he did distance, and I was distance-minded, and he went to Belmont, Ole Miss, and East Tennessee State University. He just bounced around. He got homesick. He's a baby. But anyways, he was good. He was really good, and he told me by the end of his track career, he started doing more short distances, like 400. He was like, I ended up being pretty good. And I just tried the 300 hurdles my sophomore year of high school, and it was nothing to me because it wasn't even a full lap, and I was running mileage because I was in cross country, and I was like, this is fun. So I went to state sophomore year, didn't go junior year. Senior year, I had a really good year for track, and even high jump. I thought that was going to be like my main event when I came to college. But 300 hurdles, that was definitely my gateway into coming here to Charleston Southern. And then just from there, I've been short distance ever since. The only thing that I have to do above 400 is 800 for the heptathlon and pentathlon. Kind of stinks, but I had that background.
I couldn't do further than 800.
Yeah, it kind of stinks, but it's okay.
I can barely do 100, so
Yeah.
that's about the top end for me. But you mentioned, one of the reasons you came here to CSU was, thinking about the high jump. What were some of the other reasons? You mentioned you got a kinesiology major as your undergrad, and then you're finishing up a master's program this year?
Yes, master's in biology. Yeah, so you're asking what are the other reasons I came to CSU?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I really just want to go to near the coast for college, and I was ready to just spread my wings or whatever. I was ready to just see some other parts and then get near the coast, and I was actually enrolled in University of Tennessee, Knoxville, so I literally had the enrollment papers and everything, and then I just kind of had this feeling that I had all these talents and abilities, and I had a really good track season, so I was like, let me just reach out. So I reached out to a couple of schools here on the coast. UNC Wilmington, I went to an official visit, and the next day came here for an unofficial visit. No one was on campus. It was during final times, and I felt like a call, and that feeling like I felt at home. So they offered me, and it was almost perfect the way it lined up financially for a mix of athletic and academic scholarship. And it's faith-based institution, so I thought that was a plus too. And signed the papers. So it was all good.
Well, that's awesome. We're glad that you came here. I'm curious, competing as an individual person on a team, what is that like? Can you take us into the mindset of that?
Yeah, it's a cool dynamic. I really like it. So like I was saying earlier, I'm very competitive. So I played basketball in high school, and I also had a good year, my senior year of basketball, but I was just done. I was over having to depend on teammates and coaches, whether or not you get to play in a certain game or whatever. Track, if you have the times, you're going to run. It's very objective, and I like that a lot. But I've really loved our team dynamic, how it's grown since my freshman year. It's been so cool to see. We've had a little bit of strife my freshman year, and since then we've all just grown really close, and the relays are very cool because it's individual, you have to do your part, but it's a team event. And even just at the end of the track meet, like a conference, you have all of your points added up, so you're always rooting for your other teammates. It's really cool, but you don't have to depend on them either. So if I have a good day, that doesn't mean that everyone else has a good day, and vice versa. So I really like that dynamic about track.
Is that something that also helps kind of push yourself, knowing, looking around the rest of that team, that it is an individual thing? You kind of look around and go, I want to beat you.
Yeah.
Even you're my teammate, but I want to beat you.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's very true, and it's very good for practices too. I think that we always have that competitive edge, but also pushing each other in practices, especially the practices like today where it's just really tough and you're always encouraging one another, but you're also pushing each other to a whole new level every single practice, which is pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Well, you were named the Big South Scholar Athlete this past year, having a 4.0 and being very successful on the track. So congratulations.
Thank you.
What's that kind of been like as a student athlete for you specifically? How do you kind of make sure you're doing well in the classroom, but also on the track?
Yeah, good question. So freshman year, it was kind of an awakening. It was just like, whoa, that's a lot of work, and it's a lot of independent studies. And I was in study hall, and I knew I didn't want to be in study hall anymore because I couldn't focus. So I made it a point I really had a goal set in mind, like to try to make a 4.0. This sounds so dumb. I saw a tweet, I'll never forget it, and it was like, college students, if you're so smart, what's a 4.0 GPA? And I was like, I'm going to do it. Whatever, you said that, I'm going to do it. So it's just really, you have to be disciplined. Like, that is the main thing that I learned throughout my undergraduate studies is if you want to do well for anything, you have to work hard. But for academic-wise, especially if you're balancing an athletic schedule too, you have to set aside time. And that was what I did. I just made sure that I went to the library every single weeknight. Like, even if I was in there just 2 hours, 3 hours, and I only studied like 1 hour because I was on my phone, at least I was there. So definitely just having that discipline and routine helped a lot.
You mentioned kind of looking forward to your future a little bit. You mentioned PT school, and congratulations on getting in there. What are you kind of hoping to do with that after track and after this upcoming year?
Yeah, I'm so excited for it. I'm very excited. I know that physical therapy is what I want to do, and after going through my kinesiology classes, I learned that I really like the non-invasive treatment aspect of physical therapy, and I like the kinesiology part of it too, like movement as treatment. And I'm just really excited to see what I want to do. So whenever I had to get into PT school, I obviously had to do like internships and clinicals, and I would always ask that question, like, when did you know what you wanted to do within the physical therapy realm? And they all told me they kind of figured out their niche whenever they were in school. So I'm hoping that'll happen for me. I honestly don't know yet, but I know I like physical therapy, the profession itself, and wherever God takes me, I'll say yes. So yeah.
So you can't answer track on this next question, but what's your favorite sport to watch at Charleston Southern?
Oh man, I love that question. Volleyball. I know
Really?
It off the bat. It's so fun.
Have you ever played?
Nope. I wanted to. I would have loved to play in high school, but I always did cross country. But it's so fun to watch. I don't know. I love our girls' enthusiasm, and then, I don't know. It's just easy to go and watch and really fun. I just like it. I play sometimes. Don't tell my coach, but I play sometimes, like on the sand court or like in the Brewer Center. But yeah, it's just really fun.
I was gonna say, maybe we'll have to organize a little bit of a match once you're done, of course.
Right, we should. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
Do you have a hidden talent when it comes to volleyball?
I don't think so. I just like it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we'll have to find a way to organize that for it.
Yeah.
That
I would be
fun.
very down.
I'd love to see your talent. Like, drag is not a hand-eye coordination sport.
Yeah.
Volleyball definitely is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I played basketball before, so I
Right.
have a little bit.
That's
Can
true.
you?
That was one of my questions. Do you still have some of that hand-eye coordination left?
Yeah, I think so. And I also play basketball with the guys sometimes in the gym, and they're like, Caroline, what? I didn't know you could do this.
With the track
I
guys?
dabbled. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Never the basketball guys. There have been some that come around, but not that good.
Is
at
there
all.
one guy in the team who's like super secretly really good at basketball?
I
girl.
hate to say it because I don't want to give him a big head, but Timothy Davis, he'll be coming back next semester. He's a 5th year, but he's really good at basketball.
Okay.
He really is.
Timothy
He played,
Davis.
yeah.
We're going to have to see your skills on the court later.
One of the questions that I have, obviously we're out here, it's a beautiful day here in Charleston,
Mhm.
and you mentioned there's 2 seasons for track. There's
Yeah.
indoor and outdoor.
Mhm.
What's the biggest difference? What's the biggest difference in the first, like, in actually what's going on, and for you as the athlete, is there any big differences?
Yeah, there are definitely some big differences. I actually never did indoor whenever I was in high school. So when I came into that arena, literally arena, it's just weird because you think track outdoors and one lap, but whenever you're indoor, it's a 200-meter track. Or unless you're at Vanderbilt, they have, I think, a 300-meter track. We went there once, which was cool. But yeah, it's all inside, but it's cool because you don't have to worry about the weather. So it's all temperature regulated. But yeah, instead of doing just a 400, just one lap, it's 2 laps. So it's mentally a little different, but you adjust. I think most athletes adjust.
I used to have to run the 2-mile indoors in college. 16 laps around the track.
Yeah.
It's not an easy feat when you're not allowed to listen to music or just your own footsteps.
Yeah, you hear the footsteps.
Exactly.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah, I believe it. And the 3K, is that, I think that's what they did indoor too. Or no, 5K. 5K is the most they do indoor. That's like, what, 26 or something? I don't know. Something
that's
insane. Yeah,
that's
so
more
much.
of a mental feat than I feel like than an
It
athletic
is.
feat at that point.
Absolutely, yeah. I have so much respect for the cross-country athletes. It's insane.
Right.
So much respect.
Do you have a favorite memory on this track?
Oh.
I should have prepped you for this one.
No, that's a great question. I don't think I have one specific great memory, but I guess if I had to choose, it would just be one time I was running and I could hear my sisters cheer me on in the stadium. That was just cool for them to come and watch me run. I really like to be able to put on a show for them, and I was so glad they came to support me. It was really cool.
When it comes to your family, is that something you mentioned when we talked about your dad running? Is that kind of like a whole family thing, or is it just the two of you?
I think the two of us are the big runners, and then my older sister ran cross country too. But as far as taking it, I don't want to say anything bad about my older sister, but like we took it to another level, I guess, like in college for sure. Yeah, we're the only ones, but the rest of us are still athletic. All of us did sports and everything, so yeah, we're all athletic minded, at least, I guess.
I saw that your family, you're one of 9 kids. You said you're number 5.
Yep.
What is it? Do you have like middle child syndrome? What is that for you?
Yeah. I've always kind of said once there's 9 kids, all family dynamics just go out the window.
Yeah, I could only say.
Right. So, but I am very competitive, but I don't know. I think that's just the way we grew up too. When food came on the table, we were all running to get food and stuff. We're like, oh, want to get the last chicken nugget or whatever it was. So I don't know. I feel like they all run out the window, family dynamics at that point, but it was fun.
That was the beginning of your training for those
right.
short races. Right
exactly.
There.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That quick sprint to the
That fast twitch, yeah.
I've got one more, and I'm just kind of curious, and not to get too sentimental with you, but you know, this is your last year here. What's something that you're gonna miss about Charleston Southern?
Charleston. I really like Charleston. I like this area a lot. It's so nice. I love the weather. I know everyone hates how humid it gets here in the summertime, but it's really nice. It's really nice to train here too. Whenever we last year got to stay, I think, a week or two after everyone else left. That was so nice because whenever I have to go home, it's like 20 degrees and it's just not fun. But Charleston, and definitely the friends that I've made, that most of us actually were able to come back for like a 5th year or something like that. So that's been really cool too. And I have a family, friends here, and I love them too. Yeah.
Do you have any final words for like fans? What you're excited about this track season? I know we don't really know when it starts, or, you know, a lot of things are in question, but just to encourage people to come out and support you guys.
Oh, yeah. I would say that track is more to the eye than what you would think. It's not just people running laps, unless you're cross country, but it's still cool. But that competitive dynamic is still there, and it's really fun, especially when you pull out the hurdles or a relay. You never know who's going to get hawked down. So, yeah, it's a really fun atmosphere, and if it's an outdoor season, it'll be good weather, and it's really fun to just hang out and come with a friend and talk to them and enjoy being out here together. So, yeah. And we're a pretty cool team, too.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if you've got anything else, Anna.
No, that's it. Yeah, like you said, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you coming on. So that's Caroline Edmonson, a senior, technically still, track team running. And so, yeah, for my partner, Anna Witte, my name is Killian McClatchey. Thanks for joining us this week on Buccaneer Insider.